Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about three small words that cause a very large amount of confusion for English learners. These words are short and they look simple, but they each carry very specific meanings about time and expectation. Using the wrong one changes what your sentence communicates in a way that can really confuse the person you are talking to.
Yes, and what makes these three words interesting is that they all deal with the relationship between your expectation and what has actually happened or not happened. They are all about timing and surprise, and whether something happened sooner or later, or is still happening. Once you understand each one clearly, your sentences will become much more precise and natural.
The three words today are already, still, and yet. Let us take each one carefully before comparing them.
Let us start with already. Already is used to say that something happened sooner than expected or earlier than the moment you are talking about. It signals that an action is completed and it happened before you thought it would or before someone else expected.
She has already finished her homework. The homework is done, it happened before you expected or before you were telling someone about it. Already.
I have already eaten. The eating happened before now and possibly before someone expected. Already.
He was already at the office when I arrived. He got there before I expected him to be there. Already.
So already almost always carries a sense of earlier than expected or sooner than you might think. It introduces a mild element of surprise. The action happened and it happened earlier than the usual expectation.
Already is most commonly used in positive statements and questions. Have you already read this? She has already called 3 times today. I already know about it. They have already left.
Already can also be used in questions to express surprise that something happened so soon. Have you already finished? Really? That was fast. Is it already midnight? I thought it was earlier.
Now let me talk about where already sits in a sentence. With perfect tenses, already usually goes between the auxiliary and the past participle. She has already called. They have already left. He has already eaten. With simple tenses, it usually goes before the main verb. I already know. She already told me.
And already can also go at the end of a sentence for emphasis in spoken English. Have you eaten already? She left already? Did he finish already? This is very natural in casual conversation.
Now, let us talk about yet. Yet is used in questions and negative sentences. It deals with something that was expected to happen by now, but we are not sure if it has happened or we know it has not happened.
In questions, yet asks whether something that was expected has happened. Have you eaten yet? Is she here yet? Have you heard from him yet? In all of those, the speaker expects the action might have happened by now and is asking whether it has.
In negative sentences, yet says that something was expected but has not happened up to this point. I have not eaten yet. She is not here yet. I have not heard from him yet. The action was expected, but it has not occurred.
So, yet in questions means by now, has it happened? Yet in negatives means up to now, it has not happened, but it might still.
Yet always goes at the end of the sentence. This is one of the clearest positional rules. Have you finished yet? Not, have you yet finished? I have not called yet. Not, I have not yet called in standard everyday English. Yet goes at the end.
Although in formal written English, yet can occasionally appear before the past participle. I have not yet received your reply. This is perfectly correct, but more formal than everyday speech.
Yet is also used as a conjunction, meaning nevertheless or despite this. A difficult but yet rewarding experience. She tried and yet she failed. In this use, yet is more formal and literary and is quite different from the time word yet. For today's purposes, we are focusing on yet as a time word in questions and negatives. That is the most important and most commonly used meaning.
Now, let us talk about still. Still describes something that is continuing from before, an action, situation, or state that started in the past and is continuing at the moment of speaking.
She is still working. She started working before now, and she has not stopped. She continues to work now. Still.
He still lives in the same flat. He has been living there since some point in the past, and he continues to live there now. Still.
Are you still waiting? The waiting started before now, and it may be continuing. Still.
So, still is about continuity. Something is ongoing. It has not stopped or changed. The action or state stretches from the past into the present moment.
Still, in positive sentences, goes before the main verb or between the auxiliary and the main verb. She is still working. He still goes to the gym. They are still waiting. Still before the adjective or noun. She is still a student. He is still angry.
Still in questions goes before the main verb. Are you still working there? Is she still coming? Does he still drive? And still in negatives expresses frustration or surprise that something has not stopped or changed yet. She still hasn't called me. He still hasn't finished. I still cannot understand this. Still in negatives suggests the speaker expected a change and is surprised that it has not happened.
Now let me compare all three words together because this is where things get really interesting. Imagine someone asked you to call a friend. They ask how it went. You could answer in three different ways.
I have already called her. The call happened. It happened before you might have expected. It's done. Already.
I still have not called her. The call has not happened. It was expected, but I have not done it, and the situation is continuing without the call. Still.
I have not called her yet. The call has not happened up to this point, but it might happen later. Yet.
Three answers, three very different messages. Already means it's done and done sooner than expected. Still have not means it's ongoing, non-completion, and there is a sense of frustration or surprise. Have not yet means non-completion up to now with the implication that it might still happen.
Let me give you another comparison. Someone is waiting for exam results.
Have you got your results already? Wow, that was fast. Already in a question expresses surprise at the early timing.
Are you still waiting for your results? You started waiting before and you continue to wait now. Still.
Have you got your results yet? The expected event might or might not have happened by now. Yet in a question. These three questions ask about the same situation, but each word frames it differently in terms of timing and expectation.
Now let me also talk about the interaction between already and yet in questions, because this is where many learners get confused.
When you ask a question about whether something has happened, you can use already or yet, but they carry different feelings. Have you already finished suggests surprise that it might be done so soon. Have you finished yet asks in a neutral way whether it has happened by now.
Have you already finished is slightly more surprised. Have you finished yet is more neutral. In casual, everyday speech, many people use both, and the difference is subtle, but it is there.
Now let us go through the most common mistakes learners make with already, still, and yet.
Mistake number 1 is using yet in positive sentences, saying I have finished yet instead of I have already finished. Yet is for questions and negatives only in the time word meaning. In positive statements, use already.
Mistake number 2 is using already in negative sentences where yet belongs. Saying, I have not finished already, instead of, I have not finished yet. Already does not work in most negative sentences in this way. Use yet in negatives.
Mistake number 3 is putting yet in the wrong position, saying, have you yet finished, or I yet have not called. Yet goes at the end of the sentence in everyday speech. Have you finished yet? I have not called yet.
Mistake number 4 is not knowing the frustration use of still in negatives. Saying, she has not called me yet, when you want to express that you expected the call a long time ago and you were surprised and frustrated. She still has not called me expresses that ongoing frustration much more powerfully.
Mistake number 5 is using still for things that are already finished, saying, I am still eating when you have finished. Still describes ongoing actions, not completed ones.
Mistake number 6 is confusing already in positive statements with the position of still, saying, she has called me still, instead of she has already called me or she is still calling me. Already for completion, still for ongoing.
Mistake number 7 is not knowing that still in negative sentences expresses a stronger sense of surprise or frustration than yet in negative sentences. I have not finished yet is neutral. I still have not finished carries more emotional weight, more surprise, more implication that it should be done by now.
Now let me give you a quick guide to position and sentence type for each word.
Already. Used in positive sentences and questions. Position is before the main verb, between auxiliary and past participle, or at the end for emphasis. Already signals sooner than expected or done before now.
Yet. Used in questions and negative sentences. Position is at the end of the sentence. Yet in questions means by now has it happened. Yet in negatives means up to now it has not happened.
Still. Used in positive, negative, and question sentences. Position is before the main verb or adjective. Still describes something that is ongoing and continuing from before.
Now let us do a practice round. I will describe a situation and you choose already, still, or yet, and explain why.
Ready?
Someone expected you to be at work by 9, but you arrived at 8:30. You want to tell them you were there before they expected.
Already. I was already at the office when you arrived. It happened sooner than expected. Already.
Someone has been trying to reach a colleague since yesterday, and the colleague has not responded.
Still. She still has not replied. The non-response is ongoing from before. There's a sense of frustration. Still.
You are asking a friend whether they have finished reading a book you recommended.
Yet. Have you finished the book yet? Neutral question about whether the expected event has happened by now. Yet.
A project was due last week, and it's not done.
Still not finished or still not complete. The incomplete state continues from before. The project is still not finished.
You are surprised to learn a shop is closed already at 4 in the afternoon.
Already. Is it closed already? The surprise at something happening sooner than expected. Already.
You want to know if the meeting has started.
Yet. Has the meeting started yet? Neutral question about whether the expected event has happened by now. Yet.
You expected to feel tired by noon, but you feel exhausted much sooner.
Already. I'm already exhausted and it's only 9 in the morning. Sooner than expected. Already.
A student has been waiting for university acceptance since March, and it's now June.
Still waiting. The waiting is ongoing. It has not stopped. I am still waiting for my acceptance.
Every answer was right, clear and accurate every time.
And I hope listeners were working through each one. The guiding questions are always the same. Is something done sooner than expected? Already. Is something ongoing and continuing from before? Still. Is something expected but we're checking whether it happened by now or not? Yet.
3 questions, 3 words. 1 for early completion, 1 for ongoing continuity, 1 for expected but uncertain events.
Now, let me close with something that I think will help everyone feel settled about these 3 words.
Please.
Already, still, and yet are not just time words. They're tools for expressing your relationship with time and expectation. When you use already, you're saying this happened and it surprised me how soon. When you use still, you're saying this is continuing and it hasn't changed. When you use yet, you're asking or noting whether something expected has happened or not.
These 3 words give you the ability to express very precise things about timing, expectation, and the flow of events. And that precision is what makes English communication feel genuinely fluent rather than just technically correct.
Once you have internalized these 3 words, your English will have a depth and naturalness that goes beyond what most learners achieve. And you'll have that because you took the time to understand each one properly.
Thank you so much for being here today. We hope already, still, and yet feel completely clear, and that you feel genuinely ready to use all 3 of them naturally and confidently.
Keep going, and we'll see you in the next episode.